Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. We are back with another Ranger reading episode. Super excited about this. I will warn you all, I am recovering from being sick over the weekend. I will try to keep my coughing and blowing my nose to the minimum, but I am recovering from a sickness, so I won't promise I will have to do it once in a while. But other than that, we are good to go. We're going to be doing our normal Ranger reading, and I am scared for today because, oh dear goodness, what are these Garlean chapters in the Encyclopedia Eorzea? Oh, my voice. I will have no voice. Ah. Anyway, welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome Shadow and Ducky to the stream. I hope you both are doing well. And, yeah, welcome both of you, and, I hope y'all are ready. Because I might lose my voice today because I have to read how many chapters? Hold on, I gotta look again. I think I counted. Oh, wait, no, we have Alamigo. Right. I forgot about that. Which is short. Oh, we have one more week break. Okay, how many is for the Garlean Empire again? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 pages just on the Garlean Empire, and this is only on ARR Garlean Empire. Why? Ah, that'll be next time. So today will still be a relatively short day. Oh, I'm so happy. You have no idea, chat. Anyway, like I said, my last week or so, and probably the next few weeks are going to be crazy because I am trying to be in the middle of a job transition, and some of the jobs I'm trying to land are kind of being annoying with me and not getting back to me on stuff, and I'm just kind of like, can you guys communicate with me, please? I need to figure out where I'm going. But yeah, so a lot of stuff going on IRL. And because of that, I haven't really been online much. The only thing I've really been doing a lot online is playing Total War Warhammer off stream, because that's something I can just casually do in the background while also working on all this other stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping once I get this new job and get in the workflow of it and whatnot, I can start regularly streaming and all that again. I also really need to put some free time into YouTube. My goodness me. Get it together, me. But yeah. We'll get it all worked out one way or another, so don't worry about it, chat. Temporary hiccups going on, but anywho, we will hopefully be streaming on Friday. With a reaction to the WoW live stream live, because I will have Friday off, because apparently tomorrow is my last day of school. Can't wait for that. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so we're gonna start this. So without further ado, let's get this going and get my my amazing reading skills on full display or something like that. Woo. Okay. Hello, it is I, Gremlin Alurin, your favorite version of me. Yep, totally. I mean, what? But yeah. And here we are with the cam. We got the books. We totally have the reading skills. Copium. And we have my recovering from sickness self ready to read another Ranger reading episode. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. There's cough number 1. Sorry about that. All right. So last time we read the start of the Abraham journey, which is most of the rest of the book of Genesis. And yeah, had some spiciness in there. And yeah, we will be continuing with chapter 13. So without further ado, here we go. Genesis chapter 13. Then Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, toward the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, and silver, and in gold. And he went on his journey from the south toward Bethel, to a place where his tent had been at the beginning, since Bethel and Ai, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also, who went with Abram, had sheep and cattle and tents, so that the land could not bear them, that they might dwell together, for their sustenance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was debate between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelleth at that time in the land. Then said Abram unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between thee and me, neither let mine herdsmen and thine herdsmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Depart, I pray thee, from me, for if thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right, or if thou wilt go to the right hand, then I will take the left. So when Lot lifted up his eyes, he saw that all the plain of Jordan was watered everywhere, for the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, for before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, it was as the garden of the Lord, like in the land of Egypt, as thou goest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose unto him all the plain of Jordan, and took his journey from the east. And they departed the one from another. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot abode in the cities of the plains, and pitched his tent even unto Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, and exceedingly sinners against the Lord. Turn the page. Then the Lord said unto Abram, after Lot was departed from him, Lift up thine eyes now, and look from the place where thou art, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest will I give unto thee and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed be numbered. Arise, walk through the land, in the length thereof, in the breadth thereof, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent, and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. And that is Genesis chapter 13. All right. Good old story of Abraham, which led to a lot happening that still is echoing in today's political atmosphere, because led to pretty much everything going on with the Middle East, and also Jesus, which is like the best part of my Christian faith. Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I love him. All right. Now for the last break before the pain that is literally all of this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Anyway. All right. The final short chapter before next Ranger reading, I have to read multiple pages in a row. Also, Shadow coming in with a random canteen refreshment and feed the Ranger. Thank you for that. I guess we'll do that real quick. Might also have to blow my nose in there, because being sick sucks. But yeah, thank you for those redeems. We'll do the feed the Ranger first, and since I have a camera, I can show it. I eat more of these great combos from my friend Sword of Asley. Thank you, Sword. We're gonna eat these now. Look at that. Look at that. What is this? Yes, the cheddar cheese filled pretzel. Look at that. Ah. I don't know if you heard that crunch on the mic. Maybe we can get some eating ASMR in here, you know? And now, we drink some of our Arnold Palmer, which I would show you, but I don't want to tip it over, so. I don't want to show you just the top of the can, so. Well, actually. Angles. There we go. It's the closest you're going to get to the view of my drink. All right. We are now hydrated. We are now fed. And I'm now going to empty my nose, and then we will begin reading. Let me mute this on stream, because I don't want blowing my nose ASMR. Hold on. Okay. Ain't nobody want to hear that. Anyway, we shall begin reading. Alamigo. Alamigo stands at the... let's try that again. Alamigo stands at the far eastern tip of Abatha's spine. For centuries, it commanded the lands of Garobania and was known as the premier military power among the Eorzean city-states. In the face of the armies of Garlemald, however, this might prove less than sufficient in repelling the Empire's metal-clad war machina, and thus has Alamigo borne the yoke of imperial rule for the past 20 years. Overview. The Alamigan flag is a field of purple, upon which stands a silver griffin with sword and talons. The winged creature is the sigil of the nation's royal house, and the blade signifies the force used to see all other clans bend the knee before them. Purple is the color of Ragnar, the guardian deity of the nation, and is associated with his element in lightning. The hue's presence on the pendant also marks the bond between the royalty and the religious order of the Fist of Rhalgr. Motto: born from blood. Government. Though Alamigo has long been ruled by kings, the Garlean's invasion 2 decades past brought an end to the monarchy. The city-state is now a provisional imperial territory, and its people the Empire's albeit willing subjects. Under the Garlean Viceroy's iron reign, not all Alamegans have earned citizenship and its privileges. Many live in squalid conditions, their lives little better than those of slaves. Which is literally everything in Final Fantasy with Alamigo until you beat Stormblood. Leader displaced. But if you played far enough in the game, we all know who that leader ends up becoming. Ruling body. All matters of governance fall to the Viceroy, dispatched from Garlemald and his staff. Racial distributions. Highlander here, 60%. Hellsguard Rogadin, 10%. Midlander here, 10%. Seeker the Sun Makote, 10%. And other, 10%. That sounds about accurate. Religion. During the 6th Umbral Calamity, people seeing the flood spied a blazing comet in the night sky. As Rhalgr's symbol is the streaking meteor, they took it as a sign of the Breaker of Worlds, and followed it to a new home high in the mountains. Thus, worship of the Destroyer took root in the lands of Garobania. In time, one sect known as the Fist of Rhalgr grew in power and influence. It came to flourish as the state religion. However, King Theodoric oppressed this faith with fire and sword, and the Garleans, finding no value in worship, have forbidden religion altogether. That sounds about right. Industries. Mercenary work. In the rocky terrain of Garobania, few are the patches of arable soil. There were many disputes over extant ones, jealously guarded by their owners, and fiercely coveted by all others. Indeed, even after Alamigo unified the region, little industry could grow from the lands. The men and women of the nation began to sell the only thing they could, their skill at arms. They found many buyers, particularly during the time of conflict betwixt the Eorzean city-states. Indeed, each nation is said to have had its own company of Alamigan sellswords. Even today, many of those who fled the city-state eke out a living as mercenaries. Magitech manufacturing. For many centuries, the mountain hamlets of Alamigo were self-sufficient. Villagers coaxed crops to grow from small fields and reared animals for their wool. However, the Garlean invasion brought an end to this way of life with Magitech technology. Now Alamegans are forced to work for a pittance in great smoke-belching factories, while Garlemald reaps wealth and luxury from their labor. Beliefs. To better know the Destroyer, seek strength of body and mind. Such are the teachings of the Fist of Rhalgr. Over the ages, this idea has shaped all who call the mountains home. Alamigo is also geographically vulnerable to invasion from Ilzabard, and this ever-present threat has given birth to a culture that greatly values martial prowess. Diet. With so few crops, the Alamigan diet is a rather stark affair. However, as a stop on the trade routes, the city-state has adopted some fare from the Near East and Ilzabard. The foreign influence is said to be particularly apparent in the usage of spices. For drinks, it is customary to brew medicinal teas, such as ones made by steeping the ground horns of beasts in boiling water. That is interesting. Huh. History. Yeah. A litany for survival. As the fifth Astro era drew to its calamitous end, many and more fled their homes, forced into wandering, with no clear distinction in mind beyond higher ground to escape the ever-rising waters. It was then that a burning comet in the night sky led a number of the errant souls under Giribania in the eastern reaches of Abath's Spine. There, they found salvation from the floods, though life among the high peaks proved unforgiving. The survivors were of different races and nations, and soon they fractured into factions, fighting bitterly over little resources there were to be had, which also led to the founding of Charlene, by the way, which is kind of funny. The feuds continued for many long years. On occasion, one clan would win a string of victories and grow larger by absorbing their defeated foes into their ranks, only to be encircled by a coalition of the remaining tribes and hammered back down. Following its victory, the loose alliance would then dissolve for lack of a common enemy. The pattern repeated time and time again, and the fray showed no signs of abating. Unification. Change was to come, however, after the year 1100 of the Sixth Astra Era. Ansheim Kader, a man of powerful lineage, set out to subjugate the other clans once and for all. Naturally, they unified against him. Yet Ansheim posed an incomparable tactical genius, and his enemies were scattered before the march of his forces. For the first time in history, Giribania's clans were united. As the sole passage between Aldenard and Ilsabard, however, Giribania was ever vulnerable from attacks from the north. Ainsleb feared the invaders making for Eorzea might sweep away his fledgling nation, and thus laid the foundation for his capital upon the shores of a lake in the easternmost part of the region. He built the walls tall and thick, and named the glorious citadel Alamigo. Yep. From within, his soldiers watched for foreign attack, ever ready to defend their borders. This plan proved successful. Northern forces attacked time and again, yet never managed to break through the stalwart defenses into the city proper. The Alamegans established watchtowers along the road, so as to guarantee safe travel for merchants betwixt the Near East and Eorzea, and charged a heavy fee for passage through their territory. The city-state, with so little natural resources, thus secured a crucial source of coin. The Autumn War. Though Alamigo prospered from the trade route for a time, its fortune was to be short-lived. After 1190, Ul'dah gained control of Thanalan and began to trade on the high seas. Despite the ever-present threat of the pirates, Ul'dah's ships were large and could carry far more goods than caravans. A single voyage was much more profitable than a train of men traversing the overland route. Moreover, no one charged a toll to sail over the waters. Though the change was gradual, trade within the Near East shifted to the seas. As the steady stream of coin from traveling merchants slowed to a trickle, Alamigo's King Manfred sought survival through foreign conquest. In 1468, he laid claim to the East Shroud and sent a great army against Gridania, sovereign of the Twelveswood. This conflict has since come to be known as the Autumn War, and it was to prove a disastrous defeat for Alamigo. Long term. They won the first half because they were kind of clowning on Gridania, and then Gridania called for aid, and like everybody came to their aid except obviously the Empire of Garlemald, because they just hate everybody. But pretty much everyone else other than Garlemald and Charlene came to their aid, and then Alamigo just got overwhelmed and destroyed. But yeah. Nevertheless, Manfred's host seemed unstoppable at the outset. Yeah, like I said, it vanquished the Gridanian forces decisively in the first battle of Trinaloka and slipped down deep into the Black Shroud. The tide shifted a year later when the combined forces of Limsel, Minsa, Ul'dah, and Ishgard heeded Gridania's call for aid. At the Second Battle of Talinqua, the Alamegans suffered the loss of General Gilbreth, a brilliant tactician who had earlier led his nation to victory at the head of a regiment of griffin-backed soldiers. Manfred's army was broken and his war lost. Ripperoni pepperoni. Thidric's reign. Manfred's gamble had lifted the spirits of his people and his nation's economy. With the final defeat, however, the Alamegos suffered a period of unhappy autosry. His army had been raised at great cost, yet now the vanquished soldiers straggled home with no spoils of war to their names. The power of the king waned, and unrest flared within the nation. For amidst its disastrous masses, the Fist of Ragnar and its monkhood emerged on the political stage, growing stronger in power by the day. Lest the regime fall to the faith, the royalty chose to embrace this change and named the Fist of Ragnar the state religion. They employed high-ranking monks as advisors to the throne, and thus sought to stabilize the nation. Though this was met with some success, the voice of the religious sect echoed loud within the halls of government from there on forward. In 1546, Theodoric I ascended the throne. He was to be Alamigo's last king, and his reign would wreak havoc upon the nation. Seeking to free himself from the influence of the Fist of Ragnar, he proclaimed himself ordained by Namia herself to lead the nation, and forbade worship of the destroyer. Instead, he demanded the people prostrate themselves before him as the spinner's emissary. Naturally, the Fist of Ragnar protested, just as Theodoric had planned. In 1552, he led a vast army to the site of the monkhood's main temple and set it ablaze. All inside, be they priests or refugees, perished in the flames. Those few who managed to escape met a similar end upon the blade of the soldiers waiting without. Rip. Kind of dark. The price of revolution. Though Theodoric had purged the Fist of Ragnar, his brutality did not stop there. Convinced that his lands were full of traitors seeking to sit upon his throne, it began to execute their royalty. Once its ranks were thinned, the heads of the vassals rolled upon invented charges. The purge extended to even those small folk who had accrued even the slightest amount of wealth. No longer able to watch the slaughter, the queen herself conspired with a group of nobles to slay the king. The plot failed at the betrayal of a single nobleman, and all involved, including the noble betrayer, were executed. The palace was transformed into a scene out of the lowest of the seven hells, high endless bloodshed watched by a despicable gathering of sycophants and backstabbers. In 1557, the people finally revolted and stormed the palace. The guard, charged with halting their advance, instead opened the gates wide and joined the protesters. So great was the throng that the corpse brigade, who had loyally slain nobles and rich men alike, fled, fearing retribution. So did the King of Ruins' reign end, friendless and surrounded. Alamigo should have been free. Yet, the hard-won victory of the peasantry was to be snatched away by the Garlean army. The imperial troops had been stationed just to the north, awaiting the king's demise, and came swarming down upon the city when his standard fell. Neither the Alamigan army nor the lay fighters stood a chance against the flood of enemy soldiers. The proud nation thus became a Garlean territory ruled by Gaius van Belzar, the first viceroy of Alamigo and legatus of the 14th Legion. I forgot he was the one who took it over. Dang. Alright. And that's where that ends, because next time we have to go through pain. And by pain, I mean the Garlean freaking Empire. That's gonna be fun. Alright, well, that will be next time. Again, another short week of reading, and next week we will very much make up for that, because oh my goodness, that's gonna be a lot to read. All right, well, like I said, kind of a short stream. Wait a minute, was that only 14 minutes long? Maybe we should do something else on stream. But what? Maybe I should do some Final Fantasy. That would fit the theme, wouldn't it? Ooh. Tempting. You know what? Let me check something real quick, chat. Actually, you know what? Even better. I'm gonna go to Be Right Back screen, check on some stuff, and yeah, we might actually continue stream from here. I think I've only done this like one other time in a Ranger reading episode, but we might do it again today, because that was like an only 14-minute stream, so that's kind of short. Alright, I will be back, chat. Stand by. Okay, everybody, we are back. Sorry for the wait, but I think we're gonna continue this because that was like our quickest Ranger reading episode yet. So I think we're just gonna continue this one. I don't know what we're gonna do though, and I'm gonna be honest. This might be that time where we do a poll. I don't know if we have enough people in chat to do a poll, but we might do one anyway just to see what the heck happens. If the poll does not get voted on at all, I will pick the one I'm kind of leaning toward right now. But we will do a poll anyway, just to see what happens. But yeah, next time we do a range reading episode, I'm just telling you now, it will not be over this quick, because my goodness, those Garlean Empire pages. Oh my. Alright. Poll. New poll. I might make this one extra long. What should we follow up the reading with? Let's see. So, I'm going to list 3 Final Fantasy characters that I could work on, which will be my first 3 options. I'll put FF at the beginning of each one, just so you know that they're from Final Fantasy 14. And then we will put... what else could we put here? You know what? We're going to do some fun options. Okay, option 4 may or may not start another poll, by the way. And then we'll throw the final one in just for chaos points, and poll is up. Alright, we're going to have fun with this one. Now, while the poll is going, I guess I will just talk. So, yeah, it's been pretty hot where I live over the last week or so. I am hoping that we'll get some cooler weather here, because I do enjoy the cooler weather over the hot weather for more than one reason. Mostly because I just don't like sweating. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the summer goes. I am looking forward to the 4th of July, though. That's going to be very fun. Yeah. I always love the 4th of July. I have a lot of plans with my buddies, so really looking forward to that. What else? Yeah, I'm hoping the job hunt goes well, because I really need a new job. And I've had some promising leads and interviews on certain jobs, and I'm hoping those go well. But yeah, this is my last week as a bus driver, everybody. It's going to be fun. A lot of you have known I've been doing this in real life for a few years now, and it helped me get my CDL. But yeah, this is the end. Tomorrow is my last day. It's crazy saying that. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a journey. It's been nice having a lot of free time to work on stuff. That is all going to go away once I start an actual full-time job again. Sniffle, but more money is also a good thing, especially in today's economy. And money will long-term help me with streaming. Short-term, it will screw me, but long-term, it will help me. So, just kind of the goal here. And I am hoping to upgrade my CDL, because eventually, if I could get into the big truck driving, that's where the money's at. So, yeah. But yeah, and hopefully get long-term getting there would get me more money that I could put towards streaming and doing YouTube. So yeah. I am really excited for the upcoming stuff that's coming out. I know this September is going to be crazy because there's like upwards of like 70 really good-looking games coming out, not to mention DLCs, expansions, remakes, and all this other stuff all coming out this September. It's gonna be crazy for gaming in September. Oh man, people are gonna be so busy that month. Meanwhile, I'm like, there's a lot of games that interest me, but like the two things I'm hyped for this year are now the two expansions coming out for my two main games, which are obviously Ming-Ting and Wuthering Waves, and then Evercold and Final Fantasy 14. I am so hyped for both of those. Ming-Ting is probably coming out some like in the middle, early to middle next month. And then in Final Fantasy, Evercold is going to be like around Christmas or New Year's, I think. So yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of hours in both those games. But I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I still need to finish Final Fantasy 16. I should have put that on the poll. But I mean, technically, option 4 on the poll could end up with me playing 16. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, hopefully on Friday we'll be able to do streaming for the Wuthering Waves live stream, which I think we'll be announcing Ming-Ting. I'm really excited about that. And I am looking forward to seeing what exactly they announce there. It'll be cool. Yeah. And depending on what goes on with my job hunt, maybe next week we will either not stream at all the entire week, or it will be the complete opposite of that. And I will be streaming every day. Like, literally almost every day. We will see. It all depends on what goes on with the job hunt and all of that. So, we'll see. We'll see. My goodness. I'm also hoping I can get new glasses, because I'm 100% sure that these glasses that I have right now are causing stuff like the glitching with my VTuber model, where it looks like my eyes are blinking like a madman when I'm literally not, and it's just the glasses. I'm pretty sure last time I tested this, I took off my glasses and my model performed better. I don't want to do it right now. But I hate glasses, man. It's like one thing, not having 20/20 vision. You either have to use contacts or glasses, or pay like $10,000 and get a LASIK surgery that might backfire and give you more trouble in like 10 years than it was worth. It's like, bro, like, I hate this. But yeah, glasses suck. I hate glasses. As a glasses wearer, I hate glasses. I hate them, man. But yeah. Also, there is one of these options on the poll that if no votes are cast by the time this timer is up, I will be picking the one I was going to pick anyway. But I figured I'd throw out some options just to see what happens. See if anything gets picked. I will say off stream, with me playing a lot of Total War Warhammer, by the way, I have experimented with two new factions that I don't think I've played on stream, but I've played a lot off stream now, and I very much enjoyed them. One is Lizardmen, and I played the one guy, I forget what their version of lizard is called, the one like crocodile people, crocosaurs or something. I played his faction that starts in Cafe. Really enjoyed that. A lot of monster units, and you just kind of overwhelm the enemy with large monster units. It's great. And then I played the one I've been learning, which I was actively playing actually before I started stream, which is Britannia. And I've been playing the one girl that starts in the desert. And I finally got my endgame team I wanted for her done. And it is like literally all cavalry. Because what else would it be? It has like 2 non-cavalry units in it. For now, well, it has two catapults, and then 2 heroes that I don't remember if they get mounts or not when they level, which are Gotrek and Felix. Outside of that, all cav. And if Gotrek and Felix get mounts at some point, it will literally just be 2 catapult units, and then everything else is on mounts. It's so stupid, but it works because Britannia charge is broken beyond all compare. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. There is one more faction eventually I want to try in Total War Warhammer that I just recently figured out I want to try, but I'd have to buy it, and I don't know with my job switch happening. if I will be doing that anytime soon, because if I have any money to throw at anything for the next 2 weeks in the middle of me switching jobs, it will be at the Cardathea banner in Wuwa. Give me that Resonance Chain 6 Cardathea, please, and thank you. Please. The only exception was that last week I did buy Cyberpunk 2077 because it was on sale for like 80% off, and for like 48 hours. I was like, oh crap, that's a good sale. Gotta capitalize, man, especially because, you know, really want to play that after the top freaking tier cinema collab that was that Wuthering Waves Cyberpunk collab that was canon in universe to Cyberpunk Edge Runners and also Cyberpunk 2077. It was so good, man. Huh. But yeah, really want to play Cyberpunk. I already wanted to play it after playing The Witcher, but now I really want to play it, so. Yes, I know it also connects to The Witcher, and I did play all of The Witcher 3, including all the DLCs, which was a lot of fun, and I still gotta replay it to actually get one thing I regretted choosing fixed, and fix that one ending. But yeah. So, yeah. We have about 1 minute left in the poll about what we follow up the Ranger reading with, and obviously the first 3 are Final Fantasy XIV characters, and the last 2 are throwaway options, one of which will result in another poll. The other one will result in what it says, which is me just ending the stream here. If no one votes on any of these, I will be randomly picking one of 2 options based on how I roll a d20. So that will be fun. But yeah, if you want to see the chaos happen with the d20, then don't vote. But if you want me to actually do something here, cast a vote. Cast it. Do the cast. But yeah, I have the d20 ready because we have 20 seconds left. Perfect timing. And yeah, if none of these options are picked in less than 20 seconds, the d20 comes out, and I will call out what I'm going to roll. And based on what it rolls, we'll determine what we do next. So, here we go. Okay. So we have 1 more minute on the poll because I've never actually had no one vote on a poll before, and apparently there's overflow on it. I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright, so you guys have an extra minute to vote. Cool. We have 1 more minute. Cast your vote now, or forever hold your peace. And like I said, if no one casts their vote in the next less than a minute, I will be rolling the d20 to determine what we do with the stream. So, this will be fun. We have less than 20 seconds. You can either vote for which 14 character I play, the 4th one, which will result in another poll, or the bottom option for chaos and everything dies. Okay, nothing won the poll. So because of that, the d20 comes out. Now, if I roll an even, we will be doing Sapphira playthrough of Dawn Trail. If I roll an odd, we are ending the stream. So big stakes here, big stakes. So we either do some 14 gameplay on my Aura, Sapphira, or we just straight up end stream and we go raid somebody. Or just straight up end stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll do another D20 on that. But yeah, so here we go. D20 coming out. We rolled... we rolled a 7. All right. I guess we're ending stream. Oh, this is great. Okay, well, we got our hour of streaming in, albeit half of it was Be Right Back screen or me rambling and having a failed poll, but you know, cool content, right? We are going to roll another d20. If we roll an odd, we are just straight up ending. If we roll an even, we're gonna raid somebody. Okay, we rolled an odd. Alright. I guess we're just straight up ending. Alright, everyone, it's been a pleasure. I will be live, Lord willing, on Friday morning with a reaction to the Wuthering Waves live stream. And that will be fun. I'm super excited for that Ming Ting announcement. And hopefully, for once, I can actually react live. Crazy, right? But yeah, we'll be live then. Looking forward to it. And I will see you guys then. Until then, take care. Stay safe on your adventures. And I'll see you guys on Friday.